Welcome to the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos, where it's Nigeria against Central African Republic this evening. Nigeria welcoming Central African Republic, with the Super Eagles looking to maintain their perfect start to their World Cup qualifying campaign so far. 2 matches, 2 wins. The visitors, meanwhile, will be keen to upset the hosts here and secure what would be their first victory in the second round of African qualifying, after picking up just a single point from their opening 2 matches against Cape Verde and Liberia. They did start off bottom of the table alongside Cape Verde, but Cape Verde getting the victory early on in the day against Liberia, coming from behind. And it means that the Cape Verdeans are now second in the table, 2 points behind the Nigerians, who have a perfect record so far. Liberia dropped to 3rd. Central African Republic now have a chance here to go and join Cape Verde on 4 points if they can get an unlikely victory this afternoon. Well, following victories over Liberia and Cape Verde, Nigeria leading Group C then. Gernot Ruhr's Super Eagles hoping to continue then with a 3rd straight win against their Central African Republic guests. This is the first of a double header, like it was for Cape Verde and Liberia. The first match taking place here before everybody heads off to Douala for the return fixture on Sunday in 3 days' time. That's not in the Central African Republic, it's in Cameroon. Central African Republic not deemed to have stadia that meets the World Cup standards, so they have to play elsewhere. Well, victory in both these games will take the 3-time African champions Nigeria another step closer to those all-important knockout rounds that will produce Africa's 5 representatives for next year's finals in Qatar. Only the group winners go through. There's no place for best second-place teams or anything like that. It is win or bust. And it has to be said that at the moment Nigeria are the best placed to go through. Well, Liberia had a chance to join Nigeria on 6 points, and indeed for 52 minutes that's exactly what they were heading for, but Cape Verde came back. Babista's side scoring twice through their substitutes to claim a victory right at the death inside injury time at the end of the 90 minutes. And so they get their first win. So the only team now that hasn't won is the Central African Republic. Well, Nigeria, one of only 4 nations with a maximum of 6 points after their first 2 matches. The others are Senegal, Tunisia and Libya from the 10 groups. Those 2 victories we were talking about against Liberia and the Cape Verde come off the back of a fine unbeaten run for Nigeria. And they reached the Africa Cup of Nations. That also coming up in the next 12 months. They got 14 points from their 16 matches in that to finish top of Group L. It's bizarre because their form in friendlies is in stark contrast to that of competitive action. Although Gernot Ruhr probably wouldn't want it any other way. The Super Eagles haven't won any of their last 9 international friendlies, but are unbeaten in their last 8 competitive outings, dating back to a 2-1 loss to Togo in the West African Football Union Nations Cup in 2019. Although they were beaten, it has to be said, on penalties by Cape Verde in their next match of that tournament, having gone into the plate competition for teams that lost their opening games. Great to see fans in the stadium. It's great to see as well a few of the stars who are based in the United Kingdom able to travel again as well to represent their countries. We'll see that when the teams come up in a few minutes' time. Nigeria will certainly fancy their chances of keeping up their 100% record in the qualifiers, as their opponents sitting almost 100 places below them in the FIFA World Rankings. Although we have to say there were 60-odd places between Cape Verde and Liberia, and well, the Liberians gave Cape Verde a real scare in that one earlier in the day. Flag bearers bring out the flag of the Central African Republic over the top of our match ball. Nigerian substitutes already hoping to get the call at some point during the game. It was an almost closed doors match for the match between Cape Verde away in Liberia. There's a much more vibrant atmosphere here in Lagos. Nigeria able to play at home, unlike Liberia. Just got a shot there in the background of our referee Abdul Aziz Bou from Mauritania. And the Super Eagles fans already in the mood to party. 2 wins certainly helps. The most solid of starts for Nigeria. Led out by their captain William Troost Ekong. Magnificent kit that Nigeria have. There is the star man at the back, Kelechi Iheanacho. One of those UK-based players able to come back into the national side. The travel restrictions just released a little bit in the UK. They got rid of the traffic light system. Central African Republic then come out. Just the 1 point so far for them. And we are moments away from kick-off. First, though, as the rest of the team just funnels onto the pitch, we will wait for the national anthems from the 2 nations. There's excitement builds here inside the Teslim Bolaga Stadium. So then, as usual, we'll start with the visitors. Well, the crowd was so loud they weren't even aware that the anthems had started at the beginning of that, but I'm sure they'll be aware of the Nigerian one that's just about to happen. Nigeria have reached the World Cup 6 times. Only Cameroon have done it more often, though Nigeria have done it more recently. And their fierce rivals just east of here. Nigeria's best ever was reaching the round 2 last 16. They did that 3 times, including on their debut in 1994. Let's take a look at the side then. There are 6 personnel changes and 1 in position from the side that beat Cape Verde in their last game. Leon Balogun moves from left back into the middle of the defence with Frank Oyeka and Aloha Aina coming in on the side of him. William Truce Ekong, the Watford midfielder, comes back in to assume the captain's armband. Joseph Aribo alongside him with Kelechi and Nacho, who's been in scoring form for club and country this season. Victor Osimhen up front. He's in great form for Napoli this season, with Moses Simon showing the same kind of form for Nantes in France. So the captains come forward then to meet Abdelaziz Bou. All of the officials from Mauritania today. Mustn't forget the pre-match ritual, photographs and calls for help from above. Central African Republic then, they make 2 changes from the side that lost 1-0 in Liberia. Thibaut Ban comes in because Axel Iri didn't get a visa in time, although he will be here for the second match, it is said. The other change up front, Delphine Mokunu comes in alongside Jorginho Mvonze as they look for their first win of the campaign in the group stage. We are underway then, and it's well, that was interesting. Avit, and it goes out the back for an early goal kick to Nigeria. Whether or not that was kicking for territory, I have no idea, but it certainly was a very wayward attempt to try and score inside the first couple of minutes, if that's what it was. So not exactly a full stadium for this game, but good to have fans back at least. Nigeria playing in their usual white and green, with Central African Republic kicking from right to left in the first half. Moses Simon is stopped in his tracks. Really vibrant start in Ligue 1 this season for the man who plays for Nantes on the wing. In his 3rd season there now, and is really growing into the role. However, it's Sado Kondobe, the centre-back for Central African Republic, who lost a fairly decent ball into the box. Central African Republic have never qualified for the World Cup, as opposed to their heavyweight opponents today. The best they ever did was get a win in qualifying for the 2014 World Cup. That so far is the best they've achieved. Never qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations either. Nigeria, meanwhile, will be looking forward to heading to Cameroon for the finals in 2022. Here's Simon, plenty of space out on this right-hand side. However, it's closed immediately by Sansia Ngam. He was starting for the 3rd time. A number of the Central African Republic players have played in all 3 games. The talent pool not so deep for the visitors as it is for the hosts. Here's Jamila Collins, who moved from left back to start at centre back today, with the return of Leon Balogun, now that he is able to return to the side from Rangers in Scotland. former Bundesliga player. It's been a while, though, since he was there in Germany. Free kick, Nigeria. Doesn't seem to be an awful lot going on ahead. So they start again from the back with Collins. It's the only defender that started that 2-1 win against Cape Verde, Jamila Collins. Troost-Ekong, the captain. Should have been signing up as a defensive midfielder, but he's seems to be playing at the back at the moment. A ball looking forward to Simon. They will be trying to use his pace consistently through this game. Victor Osimhen, who had a stellar season at Lille in the season before they won the title. So just missed out on some Ligue 1 glory, but has been getting his own personal glory. 9 goals last season for Napoli. He's already on 4 goals in just 6 matches in his second season in Italy. Prince Samola, ever present for Central African Republic so far. And I would imagine they will be in no hurry to get play underway, particularly whilst it's 0-0. Don't think they would probably seriously think that they can beat Nigeria today. And with all the big stars back for the Super Eagles, can't help feeling that damage limitation is on the cards here for the men in blue. Outside 120 in the rankings. Nigeria 100 or so places above them. Balogun looks forward, looking for Osimhen, who's every bit as quick as Simon. Central African Republic trying to hit on the break. Ball looking for Trésor Torapite, the number 7. And who scored against the Cape Verde with the equaliser in the second half. That earned them their only point so far. That was regarded as a real result for their side. Cape Verde were very disappointed not to win. They nearly didn't win again this afternoon as well, having to come from behind. I was going to say away in Liberia, but the match actually took place in Ghana. Another of the West African countries. Simon goes up for it, but the ball will go the other way. Raoul Savoy is the coach of Central African Republic, Swiss-born, was in charge of Ethiopia over a dozen years ago, and in Gambia as well in 2 spells. Also did work in Cameroon, Algeria and Switzerland at club level. Now in charge of the Central African Republic and trying to grow their standing in the game. That one's intercepted by Ngam. Centre-back captain the side against Cape Verde. Here come Nigeria on the attack, though. Chidera Ejuke. Victor Osimhen with the shot, but it was a long way out, very ambitious. Slow coming out there, Melki and Dom Kamanji getting ambushed in midfield. Well, the only way you can really think that Central African Republic are going to do anything in this match is by quick counter-attacks, and that is not the way to achieve them. Ball over the top from Iheanacho. Iheanacho opened the scoring against Liberia in the first Group C game. The first half shot that caught Ashley Williams out at his near post. Ashley Williams was beaten by an absolute thunderbolt from Gary Rodriguez right at the end of today's game as well, although there's nothing he could have done about it this time. May wanted to look at himself a little bit for letting the Leicester City man score against him, against Nigeria. Let's go at Roa, Nigeria's German coach. He's been here since 2016 now, the 68-year-old. He took over from Salisu Yusuf. It's Nigeria's first non-Nigerian coach since Lars Lagerbäck, the former Sweden coach, who only lasted 123 days back in 2010 in charge of the Super Eagles. Oh, that's a decent ball forward. Good tackling back, though. Stopping Delphine Makunu getting in. Moses Simon. Trademark floppy ponytail giving him away. Into Frank Onyeka. Thanks for Brentford, who are having a fine time of it in the Premier League for the first time. Brentford played their last match in their old stadium recently. They're moving to a new one. Very bright times for a team, I've got to be honest, I never thought would be in the Premier League in my lifetime. But they have shown ambition, they've shown resolve, and they have a very good Germanic coach of their own. Here comes Victor Osimhen out on the right-hand side, but the Napoli man is muscled off the ball. Not an awful lot of control in the move forward from Central African Republic. Attempted overhead kick by Mvondeze. Leon Balogun returning to the side today. Real general in that Nigerian defence. Forward from Truce Ekong. Unable to find Makunu, so it'll be a throw-in to Gernot Rohr's men. Gernot Rohr has pretty much specialised in taking on the reins of African sides. He started off with Gabon back in 2010 before meeting Niger for a couple of years until 2014. His latest appointment before Nigeria was for Burkina Faso. This, though, his biggest appointment, and the one that he will really be hoping to finally get some silverware with, starting with the Africa Cup of Nations. Another good ball forward, picked up by Makunu, but with its arm, says the referee. Delphine Makunu, he came off the bench against Cape Verde, where he replaced the man he's playing alongside today, Georgina Mvondeze. Trust Ekong, no way forward past Mvondeze, so back it goes to Francis Zuyo, who's in goal today because Maduka Okoye, the normal keeper, missed his plane from the Netherlands. So good news for Zuyo, but Okoye will be here for the second game in Cameroon. decent reconnaissance for Nigeria, that trip to Douala in Cameroon, where the Africa Cup of Nations will soon take place. Obviously, the message from the Swiss coach, Raoul Savoy, is not getting across. There you go, screaming for them to get forward. But it's easier said than done when you're up against the talent of Nigeria. In it comes. There are plenty of blue shirts forward for this free kick, but it comes bouncing straight back out again. Victor Osimhen trying to use his pace to get through, but it's well dealt with by Flory Yango, who plays for Olympic Real de Bangui. He's going to lose his voices, Savoy, by the end of the game if he carries this on. Simon. Forward into the path of Iheanacho. But he was caught from behind and did well to keep hold of the ball. Here's Aina, who's in for Shehu today at right back. Troost-Ekong, no way forward at the moment. Captain then, long ball forward. Looking for Iheanacho. Doesn't get far enough though. That should be a free kick, shouldn't it? Little push there perhaps by Aina. Not given by the referee though. So the right back allowed to take the throw. Into the middle where Ajuke was waiting for it. Frank Oyeka has a look up and instead feeds a skipper. Nice little ball forward, and Nacho is having trouble controlling the ball early on in this game. Finds though Victor Osimhen, who is directed away from goal. It's going to be a corner though to the home side. Nigeria have scored 4 goals so far. Algeria, astonishingly, have scored 9 in their opening 2 games. In a group that contains Burkina Faso, Niger and Djibouti. However, they are still not leading by much. They don't have 2 wins despite all those goals, the Algerians. Kelechi Iheanacho then with the corner kick for Nigeria. 15 minutes gone. And it doesn't make it over the second defender. Cleared by Trezor Torpite. And as soon as they get up to halfway, there's just no real forward movement for the visitors, and Nigeria inevitably take back possession rather easily. Ozuyo will take responsibility for kicking it forward himself this time. Into the path of Iheanacho. He's managed to feed it through for Victor Osimhen, and that's great anticipation by Peter Guinari. Saw the danger immediately, the centre-back. The man who only turned 20 years old in June. And plays in the Bavarian Amateur League in Germany. Hasn't stopped him becoming an international, but it just shows you the golfing class between these two sides. There is nobody from the 4th tier of any football league in the Nigerian squad. Balogun was hoping to go forward, but nobody made themselves available, and you can see him there looking forward in frustration. Osimhen gets there, and there's a chance for Simon, but there was just a bit too much on it from his attacking teammate. Well, Prince Samola in the goal for Central African Republic, telling his team to calm down, but well, they're doing all right so far. 17 minutes gone and it's still goalless here in Lagos. Central African Republic still hunting a maiden appearance at the World Cup, never follow further than qualifying. This is the first time that they've actually reached the group stage. So it's a victory in itself, and does show progress under Raoul Savoy. And of course, all coaches, all players and all fans inevitably want more, and they want it sooner rather than later. Jamila Collins looking to find Victor Osimhen down the line, who's surrounded by two Central African Republic defenders and has managed to get himself another throw-in, having gained another 30 metres of ground up the pitch. Nigeria at the moment, though, being kept away from the goalmouth by the visiting defenders, who are performing well so far. Again, it's going to be Collins with the long throw this time, trying to find the penalty area, which he does. Simon can't take it. Really good charging out by Central African Republic. Troost Ekong, ball forward. That has gone out despite the efforts of Simon. Well, they call Liga the League of Talents, and Simon a couple of years ago was definitely one of those that was discovered. Very exciting revelation for the Canaries. Forward by Ndonkmadaji. Picked up on that far side. Thibaut Ban can't get the ball into the middle that he was looking for Ndonkmadaji again. Thibaut Ban getting his first start today after staying on the bench in the games against Cape Verde and Liberia, given his chance after Axel Uri couldn't get his visa papers sorted out. Simon battling back past two Central African Republic midfielders. Gets it back again, the man goes down and gets the free kick. 20 minutes gone, Nigeria 0, Central African Republic 0. And the visitors doing a really good job of subduing their more powerful hosts. Joseph Aribo back. Troost Ekong looks forward once more. He was hoping that Moses Simon would run inside of Sansi and Gam. At least you assume that was the case with the trajectory of his ball over the top. Central African Republic see off another challenge. Here's the captain and Gam. Captain's armband in the colours of the national flag. Foul given against Melki and Doko Manji. That is not him. That definitely is the coach, Raoul Savoy, who looks a little peeved despite the fact that his team are putting in a pretty good defensive display so far. And Nacho gets back to his feet again. Moses Simon is going to take responsibility for the resulting free kick. Swings it in, but into a raft of blue shirts. Victor Osimhen nearly managed to get the volley away. Picked up by Ajuke. Does well. Recycles the ball and back in again, looking for Osimhen, but out by Guinari. Down goes Torapite and earns his side a free kick off of Alaloa Aina. Balogun. Halfway through the first half, it's still goalless. Nice little move there by Onyeka, but it was a bit dangerous. He was the last man. Balogun comes forward, looking down the line. Does well, Chidera Ejuke. Trying to run onto that ball, it's gone behind off of the boot. There of Peter Gunari, it should be a corner kick to Nigeria. Stern, if unemotional look from Ruo. Just feeling their way into this game of Nigeria. Simon Iheanacho looking for the short corner perhaps. With Ndoko Manji trying to stop the ball coming in. Indeed, Moses Simon can't get it over the top though of Thibaut Ban. Ejuke, no way down the line to Simon, so it goes backwards instead. Collins swings it to the other side where Balogun is waiting. Troost-Ekong. He can't make it over the first defender either. Victor Osimhen trying to wrestle the ball to the ground. Comes out though to Ndoko Manji. He's robbed though by Ejuke again. Furthest forward that we've seen Troost-Ekong. Over the top of Simon. And Aina picked up by Toropite. Down goes Mvonze, and the referee has allowed Nigeria to continue. That's offside though against Victor Osimhen, who clearly was not expecting possession to be recovered like that from his side. Well, he was offside to start with, and made that a very easy decision for the assistant referee. It's in fine scoring form this season for Napoli. 6 games, 4 goals in those games. Central African Republic trying to get forward, but Leon Balogun getting a foot in. It comes to Freeman Niam. Nigeria on the attack. Iheanacho. Excuse me, it's Frank Onyeka turning like Iheanacho. There is Iheanacho. Back to Leon Balogun. William Troost-Ekong forward into the path of Simon. He goes past Toropite. Ball down the line to Aine. A little bit too close to the goalkeeper, Prince Samala, though. And it's an easy take for the man who was 36 years old during the first and second rounds of this competition, the group stage in September. Forward by Aribo. And here's Victor Osimhen! Well, that was a rather uncharacteristic effort from a man who's usually much more laser-like than that. Very disappointing. Such a good start to life in the national side for Victor Osimhen. This is his 15th cap. He's got 7 goals already. Scores an average of a goal every other game, which is a pretty healthy return at international level, if you're not Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi, that is. Osimhen in for the challenge and finds Simon. Napoli man goes for the return ball. Off goes Simon once more. He's going to try and get past Ngam. He does so. Ball ricochets back out of the penalty area again, though. Picked up by Aribo. They claim handball in the middle there. Referee, though, does not see anything. Nigeria's substitutes watching on. Well, Gernot Rohr also looking at the referee with a slightly wry way, and at the fourth official as well. He thinks that might have been a handball. No VAR in operation, so the referee's word is it. These are sort of opportunities that Central African Republic have got to take advantage of. And that one is far too close to the goalkeeper, Francis Azuzu. Plays for Omonia in Cyprus. Well, the Nigerian fans, famous across the world ever since they got their first invitation to the World Cup back in 1994. What a team that was, with JJ Kocher, Sunday Elise and co. And they have been lighting up the world's venues ever since. And at the moment, they're doing all right to try and advance again. They have got another round to go through, though, assuming that they do come through this group as expected. Osman with the header, beating Ndobe in the air. Well, it's finally brought to the ground by Frank Onyeka. Chidera Juke being harried by Thibaut Ban. So in the end has to find Aina. Aina goes past Torapite. The run by Moses Simon, that might be a little bit too close to the defender, though, but they have got the throw in, though, deep inside the Central African Republic half. Half an hour gone. Nigeria 0, Central African Republic 0, and still no real chances to talk about. Olaluwa Aina then with the long ball into the middle. Two Central African Republic players have actually hit each other in the air. Ejuke to Iheanacho. Feigned to cross and then changed his mind in the end. Having Peter Guinari in front of him, it comes in and it's put behind by Sadok Ndobe. But it will still go just off for a throw-in. Gernot Rohr needs to do something here to try and unlock the defence here that is proving very... Indeed, here they come, Nigeria forward. Into Iheanacho. Forward by Torapite. Still going, this is Mvondoze. That's a good ball into the middle, and there could be a chance here. Mukunu managed to get round the defender, but the referee has blown for a free kick against the Central African Republic forward. Raul Savoy arguing with the fourth official about whether this really was an infringement. There's just a little pull back there, though, at the last on Jamila Collins. Well spotted by the referee. Central African Republic at the moment are doing a good job of stunting this star-studded attack of Nigeria. No way through yet for Victor Osimhen, Kelechi Iheanacho, or Moses Simon. It might be here, though. Torrepeja just sold himself a little early there. Iheanacho now on the attack for Nigeria. And he goes for the curling shot. And that was not very far away. And he looks like he's hurt himself doing it. Well, the first real piece of action in the game. And Kelechi Iheanacho has wound up in a heap on the floor after going wide. He gestured to the bench immediately. Well, what's he done? Can't surely be cramp. Iheanacho steps back inside, hit it really well, and knew immediately he'd hit it. Well, those kinds of things, when they happen, are not usually good news. When there's nobody around them, there's no challengers come in. Something for Gernot Rohr to ponder. Having just got all of his UK-based stars back in the side after a relaxation of COVID travel restrictions from the UK, he would not want to send back Kelechi Iheanacho injured to Leicester City. And they would not want to receive him like that. That is not a good sight for Nigeria or Leicester City fans. Well, in any case, we are stopping for a drinks break, so Iheanacho will get a couple more minutes to decide whether or not he can actually soldier on or not. Not an official break, though. We are already underway. Prince Salama ready for the goal kick. Underway then. Kicked up into the air by Frank Onyeka. Victor Osimhen underneath it, typically strong as usual from the Italia-based centre forward. Finds Moses Simon. That's great work from the centre forward. Now Simon attacks and tries to get the ball inside, but there were just too many defenders between him and Osimhen again. Corner kick. They are defending in numbers. Well, we'll get a test now of how Iheanacho is feeling after needing that attention. Well, it looked all right there. Chance on the far side. It was Balogun up in the air, was it? And it's gone behind for another corner kick. It was actually the skipper, William Trost Ekong, who tried to create something out of nothing there. There was no real speed on the ball for him to be able to transfer. So probably a corner of the best he could probably expect out of that. Moses Simon has Iheanacho come over to him, ready for the short corner again. Moses Simon, though, for the second time, sends it into the box and can't get it above Peter Guinari. Good strength showed by Mvonze. However, has lost the ball ultimately. Head around by Ndobe. Djuke unable to get the better of Ngam, who's come all the way across to the other side from his left back position. Djuke gets it back. Ball into the box looking for Victor Osimhen and plucked out of the air by Prince Samala. Well, really just the one attempt at goal so far from Victor Osimhen a few moments ago, but from outside the area with the left foot and past the far post. Central African Republic on the attack, but again their passing just not slick enough to be able to keep the attack going. Well, if they get to half-time goalless, I think Central African Republic will be very happy with that first half's work. Very much up against it, against this side of African superstars. And it's been a very workmanlike performance from them. Here comes Troost-Ekong. Captain looking for a forward pass. And he might well have found it. Oh, it's just come off of the defender, which meant that Moses Simon unable to get there. Prince Samala using up every moment of time he can before the arrival of Kelechi Iheanacho. Simon just caught by Melki and Dokumanji. Well, like in the earlier game in Group C, no yellow cards in the first half. There were a few in the second half, though, earlier on today in Accra. Troost-Ekong allowed to come forward into the last third. Aina through to Simon. The right back gets it back again. Nice turn by Aribo. No real forward momentum, though, at the end of all of that nice, pretty patterning. Forward comes Leon Balogun, and he's well and truly tripped. That was a proper trip. I don't think there's any way that anybody could accuse Leon Balogun there of diving. Aino into Iheanacho. No way through again. Central African Republic really working as a unit in this first half. Iheanacho forward once more. Inside by Ajuke. Simon and Osimhen in the middle. But it's out again by Ngam. Iheanacho finds Simon once more. And there is still no way through for the Super Eagles at the moment. They're having their wings clipped somewhat. Onyeka. Handball, I think, given there. Just under 4 minutes, just over 4 minutes to go, excuse me, until we reach the half-time interval. And it has been a cagey first half, shall we say, where it has been fascinating to watch Central African Republic nullify this dangerous Nigerian attack. Iheanacho, little chip over the top, looking for Victor Osimhen, who turns, and again he's well dealt with. Excellent first half from Peter Guinari, looking after the dangerous front man for the Nigerians. Wonder or not whether there will be a change in the second half. Moses Simon, as he has done with all of the left-sided corner kicks, comes across again. This time, Victor Osimhen isn't going to bother coming across for the short corner. And it still can't get the required trajectory from that set piece. It's easily cleared by Jorginho and Vondoze. Azuyo, who's been a spectator in the Nigerian goal in the first 42 minutes. Troost-Ekong. There's a toss-up as to whether or not Troost-Ekong or Onyeka would be in midfield, and it's Onyeka who's got the slightly further forward role in today's game. Towering header from Ndobe. Haribo into Aeno. Moses Simon again, the well-trodden path. That's nice play. If they can keep it in, they can't, Nigeria. But that was a good inventive play from the Super Eagles that wasn't rewarded. They are being well held at the moment by their visitors. Captain Ngong. Long throw onto the head of Torapite. Good tackle by Niamante to keep it in the possession of the men in blue. Here comes Thibaut Ban down the right-hand side. There are men forward here for the away side. If they can get the ball in, well, they did, but it's far too hard, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. Just the one goal scored so far. 2 conceded for Central African Republic. Nigeria have conceded 1 goal to Liberia, but they've scored twice in each of their outings so far. Aribo on the attack and is dispossessed, and they could present the chance here for Central African Republic. Good ball through. Here comes Mvondoze. Good tackle though by the captain, William Trostekong. Last minute of the half, looking for Ozyman. Ooh, that was ambitious from Iheanacho, and well, after he hurt his leg doing another long-range shot earlier, I'm surprised he tried it again. You can see him there, he's limping slightly, I'm sure. Number 14 there for Nigeria. Oh, that's over the top and offside this time against Mvondoze. Balogun for once just caught slightly out of position. Well, in one sense, Balogun not really at fault there. He was already covering a man, and it was really Trostekong whose responsibility it was to cover the man behind him. Just the 1 minute then of time added on at the end of the first 45 minutes. Central African Republic will be very keen to get this first half out of the way. Aino Torapite has a chip away at him and concedes the free kick. Aino, who plays for Torino in Italy, so will come up against Victor Ozyman at club level. Moses Simon then. This is kind of the time when Liberia scored in the opening Group C match today. However, that's not going to happen this time. Comfortable catch for Prince Samala. Half-time is signalled at the end of a half where, frankly, there have not really been many chances. The only thing that even resembles one is Kelechi Iheanacho shooting from outside the area, going wide of the far post. But apart from that, Central African Republic have done a terrific job in nullifying these Super Eagles. At half-time here in Lagos, it is Nigeria 0, Central African Republic 0. Not surprising that the Central African Republic players are all patting each other on the back after a really good defensive performance. There's work to be done for Nigeria at half-time. We'll be back for the second half in 15 minutes. Well, welcome back to the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos, where Nigeria's players have come out a few minutes after their visitors arrived back on the pitch after a valiant display of defence in the opening 45 minutes, which really restricted the supercharged hosts to a single shot really from outside the area by Kelechi Iheanacho that went wide. Other than that, surprisingly, Prince Samala has had little or nothing to do in the Central African Republic goal. Likely to see some changes in this second half if things don't change soon. And despite the fact that Nigeria have the better squad, they have really struggled in the opening half. It looks as though we're going to see a substitution right at the beginning with Michael Awonyi about to come on. Well, there were literally no chances in the opening half, so after 2 wins claimed in the first 2 matches, it's a draw at the moment, and Gernot Rohr has decided to change things around already. So then Kelechi Iheanacho has come off. We thought that he might do. He was clearly discomforted by that shot that he had, the only chance in the first half. Second half starts then with Kelechi Iheanacho coming off and replaced by Teo Awonyi, the Union Berlin attacker. Will that make any difference to Nigeria's cutting edge in the second half? They were strangely blunted by a determined and very organised Central African Republic defence that operated as a single unit, the forwards, midfielders and defenders and goalkeeper all acting as one in the opening 45 minutes. They are halfway to getting what would be an improbable point, and their second of the group game, the group in Group C here. Awonyi gets his first touch, not a particularly productive one. And Gam looking for a teammate from the throw. And a free kick to the away side. Particularly good job in the first half was done on Victor Osimhen, especially by Peter Guinari in the defence for Central African Republic. Was never really more than a few yards away from the dangerous Italian-based forward. I know, with the header forward, and Awonyi gets his first proper touch since coming on. Forward by Moses Simon, looking for Osimhen. Cut out well, though. Trostikong forward to Osimhen. Awonyi finds his strike partner again. Good speed here from Victor Osimhen, the first time that he's really been able to move. But he couldn't get the control on the effort into the middle. Well, they need to come up with something different because they really couldn't get through Central African Republic's rear guard in the opening 45 minutes. How long, though, will they be able to stop the tide coming in? Foul given away by Sadok and Dobe, who also had an excellent first half as well, alongside Guinari. Floriangao with a long speculative ball into the last third of the Nigerian half. Picked up by Toropite. 3 men in the middle, and they're going to get a corner. First of the game for the Central African Republic, 3.5 minutes into the second half. Well, he looks disappointed, does Delphin Makono, but these are the kind of opportunities that could swing the balance the way of the visitors. Thibaut Ban is going to take this. Not bad. And it ricochets back out again. Moses Simon has it. Victor Osimhen looking for the return ball, but he can't make his way past Saint-Cyr and Gam. Rather disappointing attempt at a counter-attack from the hosts. Isn't really any excuse when you've got the likes of Victor Osimhen and Moses Simon. Counter-attack should almost be instinctive. Ijuke trying to get past Thibaut Ban. Does well. Moses Simon now picks it up. He's looking for Victor Osimhen. Goes for the run himself. Goes past Gam and shoots well over the top. Well, a little bit disappointing. Moses Simon with a handful of goals in over 30 internationals to date. 5 minutes gone, and there's no change to the scoreline. It is still goalless here in Lagos. Prince Samara, who's still not had to make a save yet. Forward by Aina. It's gone out, though, before they can reach Jorginho and Vondoze. Well, the fans doing their bit to try and lift the home side, encourage them into something a little bit more like their attacking selves. Leon Balogun striding over the halfway line, but again the ball is wrong side of the defender for Onwanyi, and Leon Balogun is forced to come back and defend under pressure from Delphin Makunu. Picked up by Yangao, nicely done, and slides it through the legs to find Onyeka. However, the ball is too close to the touchline for Osimhen. And the worry line's just looking a little more pronounced on Gerna Roa's face. Not an awful lot of change in the flow of the game since the start of the second half to what we saw in the first. And Central African Republic still doing a defensive number on them. No Kelechi Iheanacho anymore either. Arguably their star man. Truce de Kong. Out to Aina. Looking for Onwanyi. Finds him. Not quite sure how he managed to get that. The defender was favourite for that ball over the top. Simon. Aina continues the run, but it comes back instead to Aribo. Balogun, space on this near side. Ozyman! Oh, it's off the post! Back in from Simon, Awonyi, and it's deflected wide for a corner. And the game comes alive. Best move of the match by far from Nigeria. That would have been an incredible goal from Victor Osimhen, and that got in. It was audacious, to say the least. Moses Simon then, 8 minutes into the second half, corner kick. And Trost Ikon gets the header. It'll be another corner. I'm sure he knows at the order, the defender. Must have known it hit him. Moses Simon again. Well, that's not as good. However, he's going to get another chance. Simon, can he get a better one this time? He gets it in the air, but not really read by anybody in a white and green shirt. Leon Balogun has gone down. Well, this was quite a piece of action. How about this? So unlucky from Victor Osimhen. Simon back in again, and Awonyi only came on at half-time, given an immediate chance there to make himself a hero. First time that the Central African Republic goal has been threatened by the hosts. Balogun is back up and, well, hobbling at least. It's going to be a substitution. Going to see the arrival of Carl Namganda. And he is coming on for Cyrus Granu. Ejuke. Looking for Jimbo Collins outside him. Balogun gets there and keeps it in, but can't keep possession. 10 minutes into the second half. Nigeria 0, Central African Republic 0. But the flow of the game just beginning to change in Nigeria's favour. They are beginning to work out how to break down their stubborn guests. Balogun. And the trumpet's playing just a little bit more loudly at the moment after what's happened in the last 5 or so minutes. Onyeka forward to Moses Simon, who's decided he's going to take on the run. Very confident from Ngam that he was never going to get there. Well, that's why he's the skipper. Makes good decisions. There he is. Central African Republic have struggled to really get going in the group stages. They've not really got going in terms of an attacking intent in this game either. 1-1 draw they started off with in Cameroon, up against Central African Republic, or rather up against Cape Verde, and then they lost against Liberia. Kappa Sherman with the only goal in that game. He was kept rather quiet though earlier on today. The big number 9 for Cape Verde. His team, though, still got the victory in the end. Only Central African Republic have failed to register a victory in the group. Ejuke's got it. Nicely done. Aribo. This is nice. There's space on that right-hand side as well. Moses feeds it out. Ball is good. Awonyi with the header, and it doesn't quite reach Victor Osimhen behind him. Ejuke. Nigeria beginning to step up the pace now. Ejuke can't get to the return ball from Frank Onyeka. However, they've got the ball back again, and now they are camping around the penalty area. That's a little too hard, though, for Jamila Collins to be able to catch up with. Jamila Collins has switched places now with Leon Balogun, who's come into the centre, and Collins playing now out on the, effectively the wing for Nigeria. Aribo, good strength, feeds it back to Onyeka. Out to Collins once more. Balogun. Awonyi, who has made a difference since he came on for Kelechi Iheanacho. Troost-Ekong, past Aribo into Simon. And Aribo gets it back now, though, and spreads it square. Collins. Ejuke, a little bit of space, but decides not to attack the defender. Feeds it back inside, and it all got a little bit too cute in the end. However, Central African Republic, with nobody really up front, just hand possession back again. Balogun ricochets, and Nigeria have got the throw. A little bit fortunate that for the Super Eagles defender. Onyeka decides to cut back, and cut back again. Troost-Ekong. Aina. Into Aribo. Aribo, you get the feeling he wants to take a shot from distance at some point. Keeps looking up, whether or not it is to slot someone in or to take on a thunderbolt himself. But as we reach the hour point here in Lagos, it's still Nigeria 0, Central African Republic 0. And allow Aina with the throw forward. Victor Osimhen trying to juggle past two defenders. And Central African Republic have somehow managed to come away with it. Good tackling, though, by Aribo in midfield. And down goes Onyeka. That'll be a free kick for the foul by Jorginho Mvondoze. Nigeria start again. Simon. That was not a particularly great ball to him by Aina. Aina spected a ball into the middle that goes far too far for everybody. Well, they would still be top if they draw 0-0 with Central African Republic, but it would seem like a bit of a moral victory for the visitors and a moral defeat for the hosts if this is the way it stays. There's a real chance here for them to really take control of this group with another win today, after Liberia lost in the final seconds against Cape Verde. It's gone over the top of Troost-Ekong and back to the goalkeeper, Francis Azuyu, who, well, we wonder whether or not he'll still be in goal for the return leg when Maduka Okoye finally manages to catch up with the squad, having missed his plane out of Europe. So far, Azuyu has absolutely nothing to do in that goal. For all their defence, Central African Republic have offered nothing coming forward. Aribo lost his footing and then was forced into the foul on Tresor Toropite. Plays for Diplomats FC. Another chance here to launch this into the Nigeria penalty area and see what happens. Well, not if you launch it like that. Far too much on it. It's Melki and Dongomanji who is reeling around in pain at the moment on the floor. Man who plays for Olympic Real de Bangui. It's usually a centre-back, but has been playing in midfield in this game. And something has happened to his knee. Central African Republic without a win in their last 8 matches in all competitions, 2 draws and 6 defeats since their last win, a 2-0 win over Burundi back in November of 2019. They face an uphill task to qualify. That's probably not going to happen. But they have moved up a rung in the African hierarchy by reaching the group stage. And they're holding their own here, albeit in a defensive capacity against the group favourites. And there's a chance here as well. Oh, that could have been the moment for Central African Republic. The save comes in from Francis Ozoyu, who's had nothing to do in the game. Long ball forward. The free kick was much better this time. And a real chance there for the substitute Christian Tuavarafe. But the goalkeeper was up to the task. What a chance there. Carl Namganda, excuse me, with the opportunity to make himself a hero for Central African Republic. Moses Simon. Trustikong into Aribo. A little bit of a wake-up call for Nigeria. Awonyi. Aina. Dangerous ball in. Osimhen! Just wide. Well, the kind of chance that he feeds off normally. And he couldn't get the direction on it. Such good form at club level. But the Napoli man here just getting his radar wrong. Nigeria's best chance to open the scoring just goes a foot wide of the post. Well, Osimhen hit the post earlier with an outrageous half chance. It wasn't even a half chance, you'd have to say. Aribo down the line. Well covered. It'll be a corner, though, to Nigeria. Substitution for Central African Republic with the arrival of Jospa Galpandia. Corner comes in, it's over the top of Awonyi. Onyeka trying his best to get it back on the far side and does it as well. Surrounded by three men who managed to avoid the corner and get the throw in. Onyeka winces as he comes away from that little series of challenges. Central African Republic holding on to their point at the moment. All the way back to Ozugo. Balogun launches it high. It's not going to get the better of Flora Yangal though. Oh, that's not the most confident clearance. Visitors getting themselves back into trouble. Ozyman. Nicely done. However, throw in to the hosts. Collins. Looks long, and one knee is under it. It's gone behind off the head of Guinari. And another corner to the home side. Central African Republic involved in one of the four groups that have all scored a point. The teams. In it comes. Ejuke. And it hits a defensive head. Better delivery this time, though. Ena is going to try and throw him into a corner. And does. It's a really long throw into the box, but unfortunately over everybody in a green and white shirt. Balogun from distance! Well, that would have been spectacular. He's never scored for the national side. .20 minutes to go. It's Nigeria 0, Central African Republic 0. Juke can't get there. Back it comes to Collins, and he goes all the way back to Balogun. Square into Troost Ekong. And the captain, this time he has a real tactic here of sending it long and diagonal from Nigeria in this second half. And he still can't get the better of the defenders. Another substitution then coming up. Samuel Kalu is going to come on for Moses Simon. It's not quite been his night, really. Samuel Kalu, Bordeaux player. He's been there since 2018 after coming in from Ghent via Transin. Relatively up and down existence for him, the winger. It's been relatively up and down for Bordeaux as a whole, to be quite honest with you, in that period. They are struggling to get back to former glories. Ena. First touch for the new man on. Goes past one man, tries to get to the byline, does, and gets the ball in as well, but into the hands of Prince Samala. Well, they are 17.5 minutes away from a really impressive point, Central African Republic, but the second half has been not quite as easy as the first half proved to be. Onyeka, and that's a foul. Good strength there from Jorginho and Van der Zee. And Nacho can only watch on now as an interested spectator. Little ball over the top and a little bit too much on it. Was well spotted by the goalkeeper, Azohu. You can see down there in the technical area, Hans Agbo shouting out instructions to the Central African Republic players. Told you that Raoul Savoy would lose his voice after a while if he carried on shouting the way he was in the first half. He's been substituted by his assistant, shall we say. Free kick, Nigeria. Another set-piece situation for Prince Samola to sort out in front of him. Kalu then with the attempt, and it's well wide. Much shorter hairstyle these days, Samuel Kalu. Oh, steady. Coming up to 15 minutes to go. As Leon Balogun makes the tackle, it's Nigeria 0, Central African Republic 0. Who would have thought that would be the scoreline when we kicked off at the beginning of the game? It's a really determined, brave performance by the away side. Heavily outgunned, but they have managed to put in a defensive performance that has been pretty remarkable. Mr. Agbo there in his technical area, trying to will his side towards a 0-0 that would be regarded as a real result. That's a foul by Thibaut Ban, just getting a little bit too friendly. So there's another substitution coming for Nigeria in a moment, as they look to try and find some way to open the door in through past the Central African Republic defence. Salah Kondobe launches us back into action, looking for Van der Zee, who have had scraps really to feed off in the game. But they might have got the chance to score. Sajuke desperately trying to catch up with that, but he couldn't. And you can see the haste now that they want to get on with the game. We're still 12.5 minutes away from the end, but it feels like we are getting towards the time where it's panic stations for Nigeria. Ijuke Owanyi. If this stays the way it is, it will be a real plus for the likes of Nigeria and Cape Verde. Aina. That's too far for Ejuke. Again and again, he scampers off after a lost cause. So then, Ahmed Musa is going to come on for Aribo. Recently reached 100 caps, did the Turkish-based forward. Only 15 goals in that time, though. This should be a great time to find another one. Well, the action has been mainly in the crowd this evening, rather than on the pitch, with the odd moment of action interrupting that. Looks like the Central African Republic's women's team watching on. Oh dear, that stretcher is not exactly made for purpose. Have they got it upside down? Another substitution. Henok Kapeko Damona is going to come on for Mvondoze. And also Isaac Ngoma as well. One of a number of players who actually plays in their home country. Ngoma, just 18 years old, plays for Ange de Fatima. Those that don't play in their home country generally play in France, with the exception there of Peter Guinari, we said, the 20-year-old who plays for fourth-tier German side, Pipsenried. And he's playing much better than that lowly status would suggest. He's had an excellent game up against some of the most dangerous strikers in Europe. Good ball in, looking for one of them, Victor Osimhen. Had a relatively slow first season in Italy, but the second season is promising much with Napoli. Hasn't promised very much in this game, though. Man, who had such a sensational season for Lille that attracted the big guns all around Europe. And in the end, he chose to go to Italy. Balogun feeds it to Collins. Collins down the line for Ejuke. Another run for him. He gets it this time and gets the throw in. And they're going to leave it for their long throw specialist. In it comes then from Musa Ahmed. And out he goes again. Just 8 minutes to go, still goalless. Home fans still believe. Onyeka. Musa goes down, referee's not interested, and away comes the Central African Republic, and a chance here for the break. Finally, this is dangerous here for the visitors. Oh, that's an awful ball into the middle. Namganda can't believe that didn't make it to him, and neither can the substitutes. What a moment. Hans Agbo tries to look phlegmatic about it, but even he must be a little bit exasperated. Musa down the line, Aina, 3 in the middle for Nigeria. There's too much on that, and it's away by Yangao. Nigeria falling over themselves to try and get it back in play again. Gernot Rohr now a little more animated. This has not gone well. Ahmed Musa does get the ball in, it dribbles into the 6-yard box, but there was still no Nigeria player near it. Raul Savai can hardly watch. Back it comes, Ejuke into the box and out again. Musa once more. Here comes Victor Osimhen! And it's wide again. Well, they haven't had many chances, but it's not like they've had none. And one of the most informed strikers in Europe at the moment has not been able to find his range. Here come Central African Republic once more with Ngoma. Dispossessed. Tackle from Gao Pandya. Aina throws long to find Leon Balogun as we head towards 5 minutes to go. Can Central African Republic do it? Can they hold on to this point? Or will Nigeria finally kick into gear? Aina. Poor ball once more, intercepted by Ngoma. Central African Republic beginning to think that maybe they can steal this. Balogun into the other fullback. Flora Yangao gets himself into a little bit of trouble. Musa Ahmed. Ahmed Musa finds it back to Balogun, looking for Victor Osimhen, using his speed again, but Prince Samole is there. Well, if the point they got against Cape Verde was a surprise, this really would be a stunning upset. Even though they barely had a shot, barely created a chance, they could be about to get one of the best results in their history. Up against a side 100 or so places above them in the FIFA rankings. Hans Agbo is a very reassuring figure in his technical area. He's barely shown any kind of stress at all. And that must be feeding its way onto the park, although they have looked good since the beginning in defence, Central African Republic. They've just had nothing coming forward. Here comes Aina forward. In by Ejuke. Ahmed Musa spreads it wide, that's nice. Now a chance here. Kalu. Still can't get into the box though. Musa, Ahmed, Ejuku. Onyeka. Aina. Finally into the box. Victor Osimhen is there, but there was no pace on the ball at all. Desperately trying to conjure some power out of a header. Balogun, 3 minutes to go. Encouraging Yangao to get forward, but it was far too close to the defender. Ahmed Musa once more. Congo hardly knows what to do with himself anymore. Musa with the long throw into the box off the head of Osimhen. Kept alive. Musa, little short ball in. Could be a chance here for Kalu. Charge down on Yaker, shoots. And it squirms well wide of Prince Samala's goal. Samala gets it as far away from his own goal as possible. Aina brings it down and sends Victor Osimhen down the right flank. He shows good strength. Ball into the middle. Awoniyi snatches at the volley. Good ball again here. Balogun's got himself into a mess and a chance, and they've scored! Central African Republic in the final minute through Carl Mganda. Raoul Savoy off the bench. The whole Central African Republic team on the pitch. What a finale to these two Group C games today. And the greatest day in Central African Republic's football history is moments away. Francis Azou beaten, the man who wasn't even supposed to be in goal today. And finally, the finish that's needed for the away side to complete a stunning victory over the group heavyweights who have failed to break them down, and now they have been broken down. Unbelievable. They kept themselves in this game for 89 minutes with hard graft defence, and now they have to survive 5 minutes of time added on. The goal scorer picks it up again. Can they hold on? They have held on so well, but can they keep their composure? Foul in favour of Victor Osimhen, and the frustration now beginning to really build for the Super Eagles. Gernot Rowe now must feel the blood draining out of his face. In it comes, and again it's a man in blue that meets it. Another ball into the middle. They are throwing themselves now at it. Ejuke can't get there. Another ball out. 2 minutes nearly gone in time added on. This is astonishing. Can they hold on? A team ranked outside the 120 in the FIFA rankings, up against the mighty Nigeria. In it comes once more from Kalu, but it's easy for Prince Samala, and he will milk the seconds off the clock. This was the game when Nigeria was supposed to take a massive step towards qualifying. If they lose this, suddenly the group is opened again, even if temporarily. Ozyman. Kalu now into the box. Kalu running at the defender. There's 3 men there in front of him, and he can't feed it back. Yes, he can. Picked up by Yangao. He's double marked as well, though. They've done well. It's gone off, and it will be a throw into Nigeria. Yangao's going to leave it for Ahmed Musa. 2 minutes to go. Ahmed Musa looks long. Oh, and Victor Osimhen might get there, and Prince Samala reaches up with that long arm and pulls it back down to earth. The heartbeats must be going crazy for fans of Central African Republic as well as for Nigeria, but for different reasons. Well, whose ball is that? Central African Republic of Congo. Central African Republic. It's their ball. Into the corner, unsurprisingly, looking for the goal scorer, Namganda. Another good header forward from Galpanda. Ozyman takes it down well and is fouled. But again, all of this stopping and starting, helping the visitors. We're inside the last minute, 40 seconds to go. All or nothing now for the Super Eagles, and they've lost possession again. They just need to keep the ball, and that is not how to do it. Kalu gets the return ball. Nigeria, the clock is not their friend now. Victor Ozyman shows his speed, but he's in the corner. Needs to get the ball into the middle. There's only one Nigerian in the penalty area, Ajuke. Another good tackle, and hoofed away, and surely that's it. Surely that's it. The 5 minutes is up. Leon Balogun has it. The referee's still playing on. Yangao. Yangao once more. Ball into the middle. Again, it's met by a man outside. Here is Ozyman. Fluffs the volley. The referee still showing no signs, and it'll be a corner. And they're praying now on the substitutes bench. Surely they are going to hold on. This is it, surely now. Corner kick, out the back. And the referee still allows us to carry on. 6 minutes, puts his whistle to his lips and blows the final whistle. And the Central African Republic have won the game. One of the greatest nights, if not the greatest night in their footballing history. Carl Namganda, with their only shot in the match in the 91st minute, has made him a folk hero. Gernot Rohr's men failing to break down. A brilliantly defensive performance from their visitors. Victory for Raoul Savoy, who continues their improvement in fortunes. What a night for them. It has finished here, an unbelievable scoreline of Nigeria 0, Central African Republic 1. Well, somebody on a trumpet is still trying to play, but that has flattened the Lagos public. What a sensational night for Central African Republic. Brilliant stuff for them. They have the return now in a few days against Nigeria, who will be out for blood, but nobody will be able to take this night away from them. A wonderful night of football for them. The classic smash and grab. And there will be a party tonight in the away hotel. Well, that's it from me, Angus Torode, this evening. And what has been two sensational finishes in the two matches in Group C. Cape Verde coming from behind to beat Liberia. And now Central African Republic leaving it just as late to beat the group favourites, Nigeria. A wonderful night for them. Not a great night for Nigeria. We'll see you all again soon. Well, Nigeria then still top the group, but Cape Verde and Central African Republic are only 2 points behind them. It's getting interesting in Group C.